Today, we're going to step into the beautiful and honestly pretty aching world of one of the most famous poems in the English language, John Keats's Ode to a Nightingale.
So right from the get-go, Keats doesn't ease us in at all. He just drops us, bam, directly into this state of profound pain and numbness. It's like he's been poisoned or drugged. This immediately sets this incredibly intense emotional stage for the journey the poem's about to take us on.
And really, the entire poem is built on this one powerful contrast. You've got the speaker's deep, personal suffering, this heavy weight in his heart, set against the pure, effortless, and almost impossibly joyful song of a bird he hears somewhere off in the distance.
And it is so crucial to understand, this wasn't just some kind of literary melancholy. Keats was living this pain. He had personally nursed his beloved younger brother, Tom, through his final agonizing months. In that context, well, it makes the poem's themes of sickness, decay, and death deeply and just tragically personal.
You can see this contrast laid out so clearly. On one side, you have the human world. It's all about consciousness and grief, numbness, aches, sorrow. But on the other side, you have the light, almost immortal world of nature, represented by this nightingale. It's all happiness, summer, and what Keats calls full-throated ease. The speaker is completely stuck in his world, and he desperately wants to cross over into the other.
So when he hears this beautiful, perfect song, the speaker's first instinct is to find a way out. He needs to escape his painful reality and just join that nightingale in its shadowy, peaceful forest. His first thought? Alcohol. He's longing for some kind of magical wine that won't just get him drunk, but will literally allow him to dissolve, to just fade away and forget the suffering of the human world completely.
And just look at what he wants to escape from. I mean, this isn't just a bad mood, it's a devastating catalog of human suffering. It's a world where sickness and anxiety are constant, where youth itself withers and dies, and you can hear the echo of his brother Tom right there, and where everything good and beautiful, like beauty and new love, is just heartbreakingly temporary.
Way back in that very first stanza, Keats uses this really powerful mythological reference to show us just how total, how complete he wants this escape to be.
Right, so the point is, he's not just looking for a buzz or some brief distraction, he is longing for total oblivion. He wants to drink from the river of forgetfulness itself and just erase the painful memories that are haunting him.
But then, just as he's deep in this fantasy of a chemical escape, the speaker has this sudden, really powerful change of heart. He rejects that whole idea for something he thinks is far more potent.
He completely rejects the idea of getting drunk on wine. So instead of escaping with Bacchus, the god of wine, he decides he's going to fly to the Nightingale using a much more powerful force, the limitless power of his own imagination, on what he calls the viewless wings of poesy. In other words, poetry itself.
And in this imaginative flight, the whole world transforms. It's so dark in the forest that he says, "I cannot see what flowers are at my feet." But it doesn't even matter. He can smell the soft incense of the unseen flowers and guess each sweet scent in what he calls the embalmed darkness. What a phrase, right? Mixing beauty with death.
Okay, so once he's fully inside this imaginative space, the speaker's thoughts they expand. They move way beyond his own personal suffering to the timeless, almost eternal nature of the Nightingale song.
He has this profound realization. He thinks, while individual birds die, and while human generations are born only to suffer and be tread down, the song itself is immortal. This very same melody is a piece of natural art that has existed forever, completely untouched by time and all our human misery.
And this is where that connection becomes truly epic. The song basically becomes a time machine, linking his private moment of grief in a garden to the entire span of human history and even myth. It's the same song that was heard by kings and commoners, by the biblical figure Ruth, and even one that opens magical windows in fairylands. But, this transcendent, beautiful flight of the imagination, it can't last forever. In the final stanza, a single word acts like an alarm clock, and it brings the whole thing crashing down. The word is forlorn. He uses it to describe those distant mythical fairylands, but the sound of the word itself suddenly echoes his own lonely, forlorn state. It acts like a funeral bell, pulling him out of his fantasy and dropping him right back into his isolated soul self. The spell is just instantly broken. And this leads him to his final, kind of bittersweet conclusion.
He realizes that imagination, or the fancy, it can't cheat so well as it's famous for. It's a powerful force for sure, and it offers a beautiful temporary escape, but it can't actually change reality.
And as the real nightingale flies away, its physical song gets fainter and fainter, and this perfectly mirrors the speaker's own mental journey. He's being pulled back, step by step, from that magical world of the bird and back into his own isolated consciousness.
And this is where Keats leaves us. Not with an answer, not with a neat resolution, but with this profound and haunting question. He's left completely uncertain about what just happened, blurring that fragile line between reality and the powerful, all-consuming world of our own imagination. Do I wake or sleep? The poem never tells us.